Hey guys, welcome to the stream. We're just here to update you guys on the situation right now for day two. I'm Fatal Uno. I'm joined by Sean. Just a quick update. The first game is actually going to be delayed a little further. There's an issue with some of the players and their internet and stuff, and they're trying to fix it. So honestly, I don't know how long it's going to be. It could be another 10, 20 minutes. So just stick around. But we do have some information we do want to tell you guys. There is going to be two games today. Dreamworld versus Try Gaming will be the first series, and the second series will be Real Players versus Fnatic. Anything you want to add, Sean, in terms of giveaways and things regarding that?
Yeah, stick around, guys. I'll be giving some giveaways. I have a lot to give out today as well. So I'll be giving them out throughout the stream. I'll probably give some out in the meantime while you guys just sitting here and chat while we get this game underway. Did you want to talk about the matches from yesterday a bit?
Yeah, we can briefly go over the matches. Maybe just give a good I guess brief description on how they went. But
So yesterday it was No Mercy versus Dreamworld. Dreamworld taking that series 2-1, I believe.
yeah, yeah, Dreamworld did take that series, and they were called. I know we weren't calling them Dreamworld at the time. During the game, we were actually calling them Easy, and I remember they lost the first game. I'm pretty sure, and then they came back and they kind of just like 2-0'd them pretty simply. It was very strange. Is that what happened, or was it the other team that won the game and then? I'm pretty sure Easy
I think No Mercy won the first game, and then
Dreamworld won two in a row, right?
Dreamworld came back and won 2-0, yeah, to win the series. So,
Exactly.
and
And
also we had Try Gaming versus SDS yesterday.
yeah, that
Uh,
that was a that I
that
think that was
was
the stomp, right?
convincingly
Yeah, that
that
was
was a
the
stomp.
2-0
Yeah,
stomp. And then the third series is probably one of the closest series was Synergy versus Fnat or Real Players
real
versus
players.
Real
Yeah,
Players, and that was actually a really good series. First game kind of went a little in the favor of Real Players, and then Synergy came back second game, and then stomped them kind of like in a convincing fashion. Not really a stomp, but they did outplay them a little bit. And then in the third game, it was kind of a back and forth game until Synergy kind of threw a fight there at Zakar, and actually led to Real Players being able to take a team fight, which they inevitably won. And I think it was like a 4-0, and they just ended up pushing down mid and winning the game off just that one team fight. So that was
yeah.
tough luck for Synergy.
I think Synergy was actually winning a majority of the early mid game, and then they just had that one bad call on Zakar, and it cost them the game. So it was a little bit unfortunate, but Real Player advanced to day two. They will be playing today against Fnatic.
Yep, who did win yesterday, and I think it was a 2-1 as well.
Yeah, against SMG.
Yeah, that was a pretty close series as well. I think that might have been one of the better series of the day, um, as in like in terms of how close it was.
Yeah, both those teams are really good on vision. I remember that they're playing more of a passive vision game, but
Yeah, it was a lot less
that was more
aggressive.
strategic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm actually looking forward to see how Fnatic does against Real Players, because we saw Real Players when they faced Synergy. They were both very aggressive teams, and both Fnatic and SMG when they played yesterday were very vision controlled tactical teams. So it's going to be a good game, I think, later today to see how they tactically, try to break each other down. Whether if Real Players are going to still play an aggressive style, or if they're going to maybe pull back a little bit and try to read out how Fnatic's going to play.
yeah. I feel like if Real Player today continue to play their aggressive style against Fnatic, I don't know if Fnatic can. I don't know if they're gonna be able to adjust to that style because, yeah, their vision game was on point, but Real Player they showed their dominance yesterday when they were grouping as five and team fighting. Fnatic they like to more sit back and use the entire map to their advantage. So I'm kind of interested to see how it's gonna play out.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna definitely be some good games today, considering all these people made it to, or all these teams rather, made it to day two. So I'm sure a lot of them can like taste the money in their mouths, and they kind of want to push for that day three finals. But just to recap on what did specify earlier in the stream, the first game will be delayed. We don't know. We don't know how long it's going to be. Could be anywhere between 10, 20 minutes, maybe even more. I know a couple of the players have internet issues or something wrong with servers. There's a little bit of issues going on. Not 100% sure what it is, but the devs did tell us that as soon as they let us know how long it'll be, we'll let you guys know. And one more thing before I do, just let you guys go for a little bit and just play some music here is the update coming up on October 18th, which is next week in 4 days. It's apparently going to be a huge update, so you guys better be ready. Bruce Lee is coming out, which I mean that's going to be awesome. A lot of new heroes. I can't say what heroes they are, but a lot of new heroes are going to be nerfed and buffed, and some changes as well. So that's going to be. I mean, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if you are. It's always good to have changes in games and buffs and nerfs. Always adds a new dimension to a game.
Yeah, definitely. And they're making it more skill shot based, which I think I said yesterday. They're changing the way some of the heroes like Bomb Bomb. He had a single target dash stun. Now it's gonna be you'd have to aim it, so it's gonna be I don't know. I think they're making it more skill based, which I really like. It's gonna be more exciting for tournaments, and just to see which team can really, or it'll really divide the skill gap, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's always good to have that in a competitive scene to have a little bit more of that skill gap to just push away any any easiness from the game and kind of create that diversity, you know. So top tier teams stay top tier, allows other players to become better at a game rather than the game just being so easy. But other than that, guys, we're gonna actually just stop here for a minute. I'm just gonna play a video for you guys and play some music while we wait. And if we get any more information, we'll let you guys know. And once again, I can see people asking already in the chat about codes and giveaways. We'll be giving away throughout the stream. Sean will be typing them in stream or giving them away in both YouTube and Twitch. So just stick around, all right, guys? Thanks for waiting. Zhang goes in, but he just gets blown up. He does use his ultimate though. Una with a huge ultimate, so is Solus. Rockman dropping so low. Lotus with a great ultimate to pull off Mulan. Mulan in his backline trying to do damage. Ares does get a kill on the backline on Lunaria. On the other side, actually 2 kills. And they're going to try to chase even more. They do get the stun off onto Apollo. Apollo dropping so low, does die as well. They're actually gonna jump in, do get the stun, they do get the tower, but Ares dropping so low. Solus is just like, peace. He might have got, oh, I thought he might have got the turnaround on Hiyori. And they actually are fighting top as well. They're diving, Solus drops so low, Zhang dropping as well. And Zhang couldn't do anything. Is it gonna be a triple? Triple coming out from Raven. They're getting it done now. Ooh. Grom tries. He went Igneo's blade. Not something I can see, but Apollo.
Ares gonna blow up Grom right away. Mikio dropping a big ulti. Lotus drops the ult as well. Zeke in a lot of trouble. Gonna start Shakar here. And it looks like Minerva's in a lot of trouble.
So much damage.
Right in there. Big stunts coming out on you. Taking big taunt. Minerva's going down on Artemis. Oh, so low. Zeke pumps the ult though. He's not dead yet. He goes in. He has a 3-man taunt. Big damage coming out. Frozen Scepter goes down. Zeke in a lot of trouble. He just dropped. Oh my god, Pandora falls as well. Oh, Minerva! Oh, Minerva!
To lifesteal through a fight. Oh! The Gene gets blown up. They're actually going to keep fighting here. Does jump into the backline. All dropping solo. Does get frozen separate. The Poseidon does end up dropping. Zhang taking this tower with his ultimate. Not dropping at all. And he's actually going to die here. Oh! How does he heal there? Big Mac! Nothing happening right now. They are gonna fight for this dragon though. And Hard does get stunned. Does jump onto Chaos though. Chaos dropping solo, trying to kite away. Chaos is on this ADC this game, and there is another fight happening in this back lane. Solus just survives. Good jump in by Guan Yu, who's going in onto the Burninator, who does on a 2-minute stun. Now Burninator is dropping. But this is already might be too late. They are gonna try to suck it over the wall, and they do get the steal. No! Oh yes, Paris does actually end up getting the kill, so it's a steal. Just going for this top tower, actually diving level 1 on this Poseidon. They're gonna get the kill onto Wiggler. Ciao, buddy. Synergy by the Rockman gonna jump in onto this tier 1. Does jump in. Guan Yu goes into the backline. Solus does drop low. They're diving so far. Aiden's just focusing the tower though, but they're dropping so low. This is actually going in favor of RP. Only 1 drops, but 3 of them drop, and they don't even get the tower in return.
And he's just continually like hitting everybody in the fight. That was absolutely insane. So it looks like the Guardian's gonna take it down, but Ezra with the big ulti, and the Lunaris like big Poseidon will throw her up. Lotus drops the ult, but she's dead.
Are they gonna give up? They need to either TP bottom and steal their buff or fight for their own buff. It looks like Tri might actually be taking this buff for free.
Oh, Burninator actually goes in, lands a big stun to their first blood.
But it still is pretty great. And this Wolfram gonna jump in on the bottom lane onto Mikio. Absolutely destroys him, does go invis, and then gets the kill. There she is. Now she's just throwing some spears. Wolfram just gonna go in and tank this turret. Does get, oh, he is getting blown up though. So close. Lubu's gonna jump in, lands a big stun, blows up Mikio with the flare spear. They're gonna fight. Lotus with a big ult. Lubu jumps back in the backline. Wolfram does blow up 2 of them, and they just all die. It's a full team wipe going in the way of Tri.
That's a disaster for us.
Zangfei goes in, but he just gets blown up. He does use his ultimate though. Uno with a huge ultimate, so is Solus. Rockman dropping so low. Lotus with a great ultimate to pull off Mulan. Mulan in his backline trying to do damage. Ares does get a kill on the backline on Lunaria. On the other side, actually 2 kills. And they're going to try to chase even more. They do get the stun off onto Apollo. Apollo dropping so low, does die as well. They're actually gonna jump in, do get the stun, they do get the tower, but Ares dropping so low. Solus is just like, peace. He might have got, I thought he might have got the turnaround on Hiyori. And they actually are fighting top as well. They're diving. Solus drops so low. Zangfei dropping as well. And Zangfei couldn't do anything. Is it gonna be a triple? Triple coming out from Raven. They're getting it done now. Ooh. Grom tries. He went Igneo's blade. Not something I can see, but Apollo.
Ares gonna blow up Grom right away. Mikio dropping a big ulti. Lotus drops the ult as well. Zangfei in a lot of trouble. Gonna start Sakari here. And it looks like Minerva's in a lot of
Takes
trouble.
so much damage.
Right in there. Big stun's coming out on you. Making big taunt. Minerva's going out on Arvis. Oh, so low. Zangfei pumps the ult though. He's not dead yet. He goes in. He has a 3-man taunt. Big damage coming out. Frozen Tempe goes down. Zangfei in a lot of trouble. He just dropped. Oh my god, Pandora falls as well. Oh, Minerva! Oh, Minerva!
To lifesteal through a fight. Oh! The Gene gets blown up. They're actually going to keep fighting here. Does jump into the backline. All dropping solo. Does get frozen separate. The Poseidon does end up dropping. Zangfei tanking this tower with his ultimate. Not dropping at all. And he's actually going to die here. Oh! How does he heal there? Big Mac! Nothing happening right now, but they are gonna fight for this dragon though. And Hard does get stunned, does jump onto Chaos though. Chaos dropping solo, trying to kite away. Chaos is on this ADC this game, and there is another fight happening in this backline. Solus just survives. Good jump in by Guan Yu, who's going in onto the Burnator, who does on a 2-man stun. Now Burnator is dropping. But this is already might be too late. They are gonna try to suck it over the wall, and they do get the steal. No! Oh yes, Paris does actually end up getting the kill, so it's a steal. Just going for this top tower, actually diving level 1 on this Poseidon. They're gonna get the kill onto Wiggler. Ciao, buddy. Synergy, but Rockman gonna jump in onto this tier 1. Does jump in. Guan Yu goes into the backline. Solus does drop low. They're diving so far. Aiden's just focusing the tower though, but they're dropping solo. This is actually going in favor of RP. Only 1 drops, but 3 of them drop, and they don't even get the tower in return.
And he's just continually like hitting everybody in the fight. That was absolutely insane. So it looks like the Guardian's gonna take it down, but Ezra's the big ulti, and the Lunaria snipe. Big Poseidon will follow her up. Lotus drops the ult, but she's dead.
Are they gonna give up? They need to either TB bottom and steal their buff or fight for their own buff. It looks like Try might actually be taking this buff for free.
Oh, Burnator actually goes in, lands a big stun, and there's first blood.
But it still is pretty great. And this Wolfram gonna jump in on the bottom lane onto Mikio. Absolutely destroys him, does go invis, and then gets the kill. There she is. Now she's just throwing some spears. Wolfram just gonna go in and tank this turret. Does get, oh, he is getting blown up though. So close. Lubu's gonna jump in, lands a big stun, blows up Mikio with the flare spear. They're gonna fight. Lotus with a big ult. Lubu jumps back in the backline. Wolfram does blow up 2 of them, and they just all die. It's a full team wipe going in the way of Try.
That's a disaster for us.
Alright guys, and we're back. We have a little bit of information for you guys here in a moment. From what I am being told, then the first game of the day might be played a little later, and we might continue into the second game of the day, or the second series of the day, momentarily. So I'm not sure if Sean, we want to talk about what this second game might be. It's going to be Real Players versus Fnatic.
Yeah, sure. We can go into detail. So yeah, we saw Real Player against Synergy yesterday. pretty back and forth series. I think Real Player, they stomped the first game against Synergy. Well, they didn't really stomp, but they snowballed off the start and they just kept snowballing from there. And then we saw the second game as well. Synergy kind of doing the same thing against them. The last game, so back and forth. I wasn't sure who was going to take the game, but Real Player coming out on top. They do make it to today. Um, who do you
Yeah,
think? Who do you think? Who do you think is favored to win this series today?
I'm not sure. I think. Mm, see, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to know because Fnatic and Real Player both played very different styles, and I just feel like I don't know. I feel like if Real Player can get off to that snowball start and do what they want to do, they will win the game. I think pretty convincingly. But I think if Fnatic can actually move around the map and not allow them to do what Real Player wants to do, I think Fnatic are going to be able to just like split push them out, or I don't know. I think Fnatic may be a little better movement wise around the map, like macroing their map, and Real Player might just be a little more team fight oriented. Because the thing about Real Player though, as much as we like to specify that they're a very aggressive team, they are pretty disciplined though. We've seen them fall behind against Synergy in that game three. I mean, the game series that's gonna decide if they go into this game too, right? And they were pretty disciplined to understand when they needed to take a fight, and they took a fight at the exact moment that was necessary. They never tried to force things that shouldn't have happened. They never forced fights that late into the game where they knew if they lose the fight, it's game over for them, especially because they were behind. So, as much as we like to say that they're aggressive, I feel like Real Player does have a very good understanding on when they can be aggressive and when they don't need to be. So, that's going to be a deciding factor. And I feel like if Real Player goes out into this first game and plays very aggressive, I think that would be their best move, just to see how Fnatic copes with it. Say Fnatic copes up with it great, and they lose the game. Okay, you learned something from that first game. Now let's not play aggressive. Let's go back and let's change what we just did. But I don't know. I can't really give anyone who I think is gonna win. We saw. I don't know what heroes either. They both like. They both like the same heroes for the most part. Fnatic maybe a little less picky with tanks, and they like I don't know. I think I might give the edge to Real Player. I personally like aggressive playstyles, and if they do work, in this game especially, if you get aggressive and you get a couple of kills, it turns into a lot of gold. It turns into towers, dragons, and towers and dragons are pretty easy to kill after like 7 minutes, 8 minutes. So I can see Real Player taking the series.
Yeah, Real Players, they do like that aggressive style, and they're really good at taking objectives around the map. They would always roam as five. They'd be on time for every dragon spawn, every Zakar spawn. They know when to take towers as a group, and um, but it's gonna be hard to judge because if Real Players do play this aggressive 5-man style, we saw Fnatic. Their vision game is seriously on point. So if they were able to kind of split push and just know where Real Players are on the map, like at all times with their vision game, I feel like they could just maybe kind of out split push them and try and get a gold advantage that way. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be. I don't know who's gonna take the game, to be honest. I think it's just gonna come down to objective fights. Uh, but I'd like to see if Fnatic can out split push them and kind of take advantage of their vision, because their vision control is absolutely insane yesterday. They knew where the enemy team was at all times. They were able to split push and make these aggressive plays around the map. So I guess we'll just have to see with these games coming up.
Yeah, and we saw actually Real Player in their second game versus Synergy. They did win the first game pretty convincingly, but we saw them go into a little bit of a different draft in the second game. They did pick up a Burnator, which they never did in the first game, and they also picked up Electros. Do you think these heroes are going to be seen today and if in this series, if at all?
I don't think so, but Burninator this tournament actually has a 0% win rate. I don't see why you would probably want to take Burninator at this point. And Electros, he only works in some compositions. He's not the best. I think if you're gonna run I think you need to have a 4-man lineup that synergizes really well together if you're going to run Electro's solo the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to have to try and do a lot of work by himself majority of the game, while the other 4 on the map just take objectives or try and just stall for Electros to push towers, push tier 1, tier 2, and eventually tier 3. So I'm not sure if Electros is a very good pick. I think he works in some compositions. I don't think we'll see him very much in this series, but as well as Burninator, 0% win rate. Maybe one of these teams are going to pick him up and actually get that first win on him. So I don't know.
All right, so going further a little more into detail with these picks actually, what picks do you think are going to be most confronted? Because I know Fnatic in their first game or possibly their second game of SMG, they went a little different, and I think they first picked a Jean in one of their games, and I don't know, she is a very strong hero, but is she really first pick worthy? And do you think they're gonna maybe contest that, or they're gonna go for a more standard first pick such as Ares or Freya if it's open?
Um, Not as I've seen. They did pick the first pick Gene. It was kind of strange to me because they picked Gene first, and then they started picking their like really OP heroes right after Gene. I would have seen them. I would have liked to see them do the opposite of that. Um, just because we haven't really seen Gene at all this tournament. It doesn't seem like any other team like to play her. So I find she's a pick that I think will be open for a majority of the draft. I wouldn't really like them to first pick that.
Yeah, there's no sense in first picking something that probably won't be contested, right?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Lotus. We haven't seen much Gene. So if they're planning on picking Gene, I'd like to see them pick it maybe even last. I feel like that pick will be open for a majority of the draft. So um, not sure what they prioritize. I think they like to prioritize the Wolfram as well. I think we
Yeah,
saw
I
them on Wolfram.
yeah, I think we saw them on Wolfram, and we also saw them on a Sung Wukong in one of the games as well. I think that was a game they might have lost though, but I remember them playing Sun Wukong specifically, and I'm pretty sure he went a very different build, and I remember commenting on it. Whether he was, I don't remember if they were playing Wolfram or Sung Wukong, but I remember he went just full tank and no damage, and I think they lost the game, and he's just like pretty much a non-factor there. And this was Fnatic when they lost, I think, one of their games versus SMG.
Yeah,
They had that.
that was
They had that.
Wolfram.
Was it Wolfram?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, they need to just understand. I think if Fnatic wants to win this game, when they do picks like Wolfram or Sun Wukong, they need to understand what the hero does and utilize it when it's good. So those heroes are very strong early game and output a lot of damage without items. I understand why they're trying to build tanky, but if you get that little extra damage item like an Igneos Blade specifically, especially on the Sun Wukong who has that illusion to do output more damage with that mana drain, I think it's just a smart idea, and then you can go tanky afterwards. And we've seen other teams build like that and see how effective it is. So that's what I like to see out of Fnatic, just to understand their draft maybe a little better than they have been, because they are very good at just controlling the map and like not trying to take fights when they're not supposed to.
yeah. We saw it was the build orders were a little strange yesterday, coming out from a lot of the teams I found. Um, but like you said, the Wolfram, I think he rushed like a speed boots and then he went straight to Gaia second item, which is kind of strange. I would have liked to see him pick up maybe a mask for a little bit of lifesteal and attack speed. And then because Wolfram, because he has that escape, you don't really need him to be that tanky. You kind of want him to be a little bit more of an assassin where you can just pick off someone, go invis, go heal up on some creeps, and then rejoin the fight later. And he does so much damage when you build him more of an assassin type. We saw him like three-shotting towers at some point, especially late game.
Yeah,
I
you
think
you
he's just
wanna
more useful.
you wanna really play him kind of like just let him do what he wants on the map. He's never really with the team. He's always split pushing, taking 1v1 engagements, or coming into team fights and just hitting the back line, and then leaving the team fight and going to split push again. That's what he's very good at. Wolfram is one of them. Sun Wukong is one of those heroes as well. And there's only a few heroes that are very good at that, but especially Wolfram. And I think we've also seen a lot of Ares do this. I know we've seen some Ares build very tanky or some Ares build too much attack. So it just depends. And I can see why people try to do these builds, but they need to realize what they're playing against. Because there's a great understanding as to why you're gonna build tanky. Oh, we need a tank, so I need to build tanky. Or say they have like just a Wolfram and a Guan or something, and they have no other tank, so Wolfram has to build tanky. I get that, but what does a hero do, and what are you facing up against? If you're facing up against two tanks on the other team, why not make this character a little bit more assassin-y in the early game so you can kill those backliners? Because those two tanks on their team are not going to do anything to you that early, right? So I just feel like they need to understand how to play those heroes properly rather than just be like, "Oh, we need a tank, so I'm building tanky." That's not how simple it as it is. If especially if you're going to try to win a tournament or be a top team in the world, I think you need to think a little further.
Yeah, they shouldn't really adjust certain heroes because they need a certain thing. I think they should just, if they need a tank, they should draft a tank. They shouldn't really take an assassin and build them as a tank. I don't think it really works that way. Um, but I think on the Sun Wukong they did a good job. I think their build order was nice. They went attack speed boots, into like a shapeshifters, and he had like three illusions, and he was doing so much damage to those towers. He's always split pushing. I think the Sun Wukong play was a lot better in my opinion. They played the style a lot better. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just curious to see like how these two games are gonna pan out. I guess.
Do you see Grom being picked up or banned instantly again? We saw him picked up a couple of games yesterday and but banned a whole bunch. Do you think he's as strong as people probably may think he is?
Yeah, I think he's one of those like playmaking heroes where you can turn a team fight into an instant 4v5. I think he's a really solid pick right now. He's usually banned or picked every game, and I can see why. But when he wasn't banned and he was picked, I haven't really seen people make too much plays on him. It seems like they're playing him like really way too passive than they should. I feel like that's the type of hero where you can just go and get first blood with, rather than playing passive until you get your ulti. I feel like you can make some better plays. You can, steal buff with the hook. You can, hook people under tower while they get aggressive and start pushing. But we haven't really seen that from any Groms. Most Groms they would
We
just stay
actually
in the
did
top lane
see one
and
of
they
the
didn't
Grom
really
steal the
roam.
dragon over the wall.
Yeah,
I forget what game it was, but that was an awesome play, and it was. I mean, that's what he can do for you, right? And also, if you're going high ground, you can hook someone over the wall.
yeah. I'd like to see Groms maybe just hook buffs more, and we haven't really seen that at all. You can hook it when it's half HP and just steal it with your team. I like to just see them play a little bit more aggressive on the Grom. Um, and most Groms, they've been just sitting in lane, just soaking and trying to get their ulti. I feel that's okay, but in my opinion, I think Groms could even roam mid and try and get a nice hook for the other mid player, like your mid teammate, to follow up and get an easy first blood. I like to see more roaming from Groms.
Yeah, I understand. I agree with that, but just throw it out there for the stream so you guys know what's going on, why the game might be taking a while for it to start. We just got confirmation now that the game will be happening in the next 10 to 15 minutes, and it will be the second series of the day that's going to be happening first, which is what I have on the screen right now, which is Real Players versus Fnatic. So we're going to actually just take probably a 10-minute break until the game's actually starting. The lobby's going to start. We were told before that the game might start very shortly, but I think a lot of the players thought that the first series was going to happen first, but there's a lot of issues going on with that game, so we don't know what's going on. There's players can't get into whatever, so we're gonna try to figure that out, and we'll let you guys know as soon as we know anything about the first series of the day. But for what we know right now, the second series of days will be played in the next 15 minutes. So please stick around, and we'll be back shortly. All right, guys. exactly. Just to confirm once again, guys, the second series of the day will be played first. The first series of the day might be played later tonight. We'll let you guys know as soon as we know. But the second series will be played, Real Player versus Fnatic, in the next 15 minutes. Thanks again, guys. And we're back, guys! Finally! Holy smokes! People are having difficulties being humans, but today they've discovered how to do it. And look, here it is. Here it
The
is.
draft.
The draft. We get right into it. They started as soon as the guy came in. So here we go. Now we get to finally see the game. And let's get into it. Aries,
Real
Ben
player
first.
versus Fnatic.
Yeah, game one here, guys. Sorry about that delay. We were waiting on some issues. I don't know what regarding the players, though. I don't think it was anything on our R2 side. So please don't take it out on us. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, Bible Thump in chat. But as we see, Aries, Poseidon, and Lotus all being banned out for real players, and I think those are good bans, all very strong. And we see on the other side, Mikio, Freya, and Grom. So I think those are pretty good standard bans. Maybe Poseidon, you know, I don't see him being that strong of a pick.
That's Esrath, not Mikio.
Oh, sorry, yeah, it is Esrath. You're right. And we saw how strong he could be in certain compositions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
Aiden.
deadly. Definitely a good ban.
Aiden gets first pick, and I think RP was the team that actually did massive wonders with Aiden and was doing some pretty crazy outplays with him. So I'm happy to see that. And we
Yeah.
see Una actually get picked up from Fnatic, and she is probably one of the strongest mid laners right now, / mages in the game.
Yeah, I think yesterday in the series, Real Players versus Synergy, we saw Synergy run the Aiden, and then RP, like, after they got wrecked with it, RP started picking it up first pick, and they were doing a really good job with it as well. So they're probably sticking to that strat again today.
Yeah. And they do pick up the Wolfram and Lunaria, so I really like this combo because Wolfram can go into the backline, try to blow someone up, and if he doesn't, he's still going to output enough damage from Lunaria to possibly hit that long range ultimate Lucent Beam onto the enemy team, onto the enemy hero that Wolfram does go onto. So there's a nice little combination going on there with Wolfram and Lunaria.
I really like the picks from Fnatic though. Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, Arborist. I think they'll probably build Arborist a little bit more of a support. He'll probably be buying most of the wars this game, and you know he's pretty much just a one ult wonder. He just pretty much goes in, stuns the target he needs to, and pops his ulti, and from there he's kind of a little bit useless. So, but he doesn't really need too many items to come online. So
yeah, and we see Minos getting picked up as well. I think that's what you were talking about.
That's the first Minos of the tournament.
Yeah, and Lubu as well. So, what draft are you looking at that maybe looks a little stronger in your opinion? Who do you give the edge just in the drafting phase?
I think I like Fnatic's lineup a little bit better. They do have two really great initiate and tanky initiators. They'll have the Una and Solus for some AoE damage as well as the Arborist. So I don't know. I think that's pretty solid team fight. Whereas RP, they kind of have a single target. Not so much team fight. They'll probably try and look for picks with Minos and the Aiden. But I think I'm favoring Fnatic's lineup a little bit more.
I think they have a little more combos on Fnatic to just get some kills a little easier. But I do feel like if RP does use their aggression style that they like to play and take advantage of that early game, I think they can go ahead. Because when Wolfram gets ahead and Aiden gets ahead very early, it's super hard to get back into the game because those heroes are just so strong. But the game did start, and it just seems pretty standard. Vision going out for the red team. I actually like the vision they have in their the top part of blue side right here. Watching Minos just jungle up here, so they have good vision around for when Dragon's gonna spawn in the next 2 minutes. Just casual play going on here in the bottom lane. They're just pushing the lanes just gradually. Wolfram is jungling. He's just jungling solo. So I like this coming out from blue side. You're going to see them go a little bit ahead in gold just because they have the specific jungler that's jungling solely. A lot of the other teams do a 2-1-2, which is 2 in the top lane, 1 middle, and 2 in the bottom. So I'm liking this coming out of RP.
Yeah, I agree. I find if teams do like to do the 2-1-2, they should probably, when they do have that Una, so she'll be able to clear that wave really fast.
Ooh, Solus goes in for a gank there, not actually able to find anything. I like how they use Solus. We saw actually a couple teams use their attack damage carries to get rotating really quickly in the early game. We saw Minerva do that in one of the series yesterday, and I kind of like it because if they can get those kills and their lanes are pushed, then they're not really missing out on too much farm. And if they do get the kill, hey, you get a kill. And if you don't, then you just push their mid laner back or whatever lane you do gank.
Yeah, as I was saying before, like if teams would run a 2-on-2, I'd like to see the mid player after clearing the mid wave to try and clear some of those jungle camps out so they don't fall too far behind.
Yeah.
Oh, attack buff on Aiden. It's gonna be really strong.
Yeah, it is good. I think this would be a good decision for him to just try to push this lane as quick as he can, and if not, try to take damage tower, try to go for a gank, because that attack buff early on is just so strong, especially on a range carry.
Yeah.
And that's what he might be looking to do. Maybe he knows Dragon is going to be spawning here in a moment. He's TPing actually, yeah. He's going to try to push out this top wave with this attack buff and try to get into an engagement here. They do have wards on it though. They do get rid of the wards, and this might be a fight.
Start it.
Oh, he actually drops all. Oh no, I thought Una dropped all. She does do a lot of damage though. Now she drops all, but it's too far, and they actually do take Dragon pretty easily. They're gonna initiate here. No, looks like Fnatic is just gonna let them have the Dragon. So very good Dragon control there from real players. Instantly just going onto a D-warding and taking the Dragon.
Ooh, nice stun coming out onto Lunaria. She gets stunned off though, and there's first blood. Wolfram in a lot of trouble too. He does get the spin. There's the double kill coming out for Fnatic.
2 kills going to Fnatic, and they need to get something out of here on the map here. And I think this is a good idea for them to 4-push mid. Yeah, the Aiden split pushing bottom, but one that you can TP in there right now if they want to. Aiden split pushing on top. There was a little bit of an engagement here between Minos and Zhang Fei, but nothing happening. TPs are coming in. Ooh, Solus does drop off. They want to initiate here though. Wolfram goes in. Good Minos pull onto the Arbus. Arbus dropping so low. Wolfram does get turned around on though. And Una does blow him up hard. Now dropping very hard. Ooh, and Guan Yu or Lubu does jump in, but he gets return killed. And Arbus just dies from Zarkan. But can Solus get the return kill? He can. And Aiden comes in and gets the kill back onto the Solus. Very good plays coming out here. And they are going to get the mid tower actually. So that's a 2-for-2 trade there.
3 for 2.
3 for 2.
And they get the tower.
Wow. Oh yeah, because they got the Minos as well. Good play there coming out from Fnatic. So they did give up the Dragon, but hey, they're up 2k gold now because of the fights that they did want to take. And it's good rotations coming out from them.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a misplay at Dragon there, but they definitely made up for it with that fight. Getting 2 picks, doing some great damage on the tower, and then they win a little 3-for-2 fight. Take that tower as well, so big gold swing back in their favor.
Looks like there's a couple in the mid lane here. And I feel like losing that mid lane tier 1 is probably one of the worst towers to lose in the early game, because it just gives you so much positioning. Like you're allowed to TP to that tower whenever you want and towards that mid lane, and you could easily go to top or bottom. If you lose a top tower, then you can still TP to mid to go to top. Now it's either you TP bottom or top essentially to move around the map. So now there's an attack buff here on Solus in the top, and it looks like they're trying to put some aggression onto this. It might be a fight. Minos actually does try to possibly pull in the Solus, but he just pulls in the creep wave and they clear it. Fnatic looking to steal this buff.
I think these creeps might take this bot tower. It's gonna be very close.
No, just barely. Oh! Oh! Tower's OP! Or not tower, sorry, creep's OP. It just gets that last hit.
Arborist put a seed down to try and clear that, but I think he read that a little wrong.
Yeah, and I think they went into the jungle to steal the buff, but I don't know if it was worth it. I mean, you could go steal the buff afterwards if anything, but giving up a free tower like that just puts them back in the game, and you can see the gold lead coming back to basically even after that tower goes down. This is an early Oracle by RP, and we've seen them do this yesterday. They were always getting this Oracle because they love their vision control. And look, they're going to D-ward Zakar right now as well.
I like how they put that other word right on the car, so they can't really hit it unless they don't want to misplay and hit the car by accident.
Yeah, it's a good play there from them. And Dragon's gonna be up soon, and they all know it. Ooh, Una actually drops her ultimate very early in this fight. They want to take this Dragon
quickly.
quickly.
To see from Una players. Drop that all right in the pit.
Oh! Aiden almost steals it. Lunaria does use her all, but isn't able to steal it as well. So Dragon does go in the way of Fnatic. I like that too, but I feel like she can hold on to it just a little longer and bait maybe the enemy team to come in and use that ultimate together. And they are going to go as 5 in this top lane, try to take this tower. And I like this rotation from RP, just going towards mid lane, possibly getting a trade, because they know this is going to be lost. Oh, they were going to no, they did. I think they needed to push this mid tower. I really think that was a huge misplay. I thought they had the right idea, but they ended up wanting to TP. And they get no trade out of it.
Zhang Fei's got to be careful. Nice read from Zhang Fei. He actually had no vision, so that's some pretty good game sense.
Yeah, good job there from General. Wolfram's pushing this top lane. He has some time to put some damage on this tower. He should start to run right now, though. Oh, he actually jukes down, yeah. He could have got hit by the Una bomb there, but actually doesn't, and gets lifesteal off the wolves.
Drops her ult for some reason.
I think she was trying to predict where he went invis and to get the kill, because he was fairly low, but he was actually already long gone at that point. RP taking a good tower there in the mid lane. And Wolfram's going to eventually take this top tower, actually. Is there going to be a fight here? Minos is looking for something. So here it is. Wolfram does actually go the Igneo split. I really like that coming out from him.
Yeah, I'd like to see him pick up a mask for next item, trying to get a little bit more lifesteal, so that he can sustain a little bit more throughout the entire game, be able to stay on the map at all times.
Lubu almost gets caught out there, but actually doesn't. Looks like they're trying to get some deep wards or just steal their jungle. Fight might happen out here. Wolfram is going to try to go split push top. Zakar actually stuns Hard, who actually had to use his Jade Heart there to disengage the CC from Zakar. So here's Wolfram just pushing out top lane. This is what I like. This is what we were talking about in the early game. If you're gonna get a Wolfram, just keep him in a solo lane to himself. No one can really fight him 1v1. Even the Zhang Fei will have issues with him if he doesn't get his ult off in time. Good D ward coming out from RP. RP so good at vision control. Trying to look for that suck over the wall. Wasn't able to actually do it though.
Yeah, I really like how Wolfram is putting so much pressure on the top side. He's invading their jungle, taking his jungle camps, really utilizing that gold buff as much as he can.
I think what they're trying to do here is force a couple of TPs to this top lane, and they're gonna go TP Wolfram bottom and try to take this Zakar. I think that's what they need to do. Zhang Fei did use his TP. If he TPs bottom right now to these creeps, he might be able to. They might be able to take a 4v5 engagement here. Maybe he just wants to fight the Zhang Fei. Oh, Zhang Fei actually just backs off. So just standard right now. Both teams kind of afraid to do things, but I do feel like RP is getting a lot more out of the map.
Looks like Zhang Fei is going to try and fight for this buff. He does land the stun onto Wolfram. Wolfram in a lot of trouble on you, but he leaps over the wall. Lands a stun though. The spin is actually
Jade Heart though. They can't stun him. They're going to get returned onto by Lu Bu, who wants to go in, and Wolfram going to come back in. Maybe not. That's a good purchase there from Wolfram. He just gets the Jade Heart, not allowing them to actually stun him, so he can run away there in that fight. Good rotation from Fnatic.
The item builds a lot more this game.
Yeah, a lot more calculated, it feels like. Ooh, good bomb from Una. It's gonna be a huge fight. Lubu does jump into the back line. Dragon does get dropped by Souls, going in the way of Fnatic. Fnatic does blow up the Wolfram. Aiden does use his illusion. Solo! Aiden doing so much work here, still alive, and he actually does drop to Zhang Fei. And it's a 3 for 2 so far in this fight. going in favor of Fnatic, definitely, as they did get the Dragon as well, who goes in the way of Solus, who got the last hit there. But if it wasn't for Angra there, doing some pretty cool Aiden plays that you mentioned yesterday, TPing to his illusion while his ult is still on and getting that range across, just doing so much damage there. Lubu is going to initiate here. Lunaria wants to try to help him out, not able to do much. Guan Yu does use a spin. Nothing comes out of it though. Even though Fnatic comes ahead in that, they're still a little bit behind in gold, and a lot of it has to do with how much gold this Aiden and Wolfram have been getting from around the map. Especially Aiden, we can see his 19k gold right now.
Yeah, they're pretty farmed RP. It looks like they might try and take another fight. Minos is looking for a pull. Just misses. And actually hits a car. They might actually start it here.
Ooh, this is dangerous to start. This is dangerous to start. Taking a lot of damage from Sakar. In that previous fight near Dragon, I think one of the reasons they have actually lost that fight on the side of RP was Wolfram was so low at the beginning of that fight, he couldn't really do anything in the fight because he came in with at least less than half health.
Oh, nice binding arrow there. Yeah, Fnatic they're just taking way too much damage from this Zakara.
Good damage up from Lunaria. Actually stunning the Zhang Fei. Jumps over the wall. He doesn't have his taunt up now. So right now they're just, I think both teams are just nervous to move away from this bottom lane because, hey, Zakar is up and they both have wards on it and they're actually going to look for this Minos. You can see Arborist just running straight at him. Minos is like, hell no, I'm out of here.
I think they actually might start Zakar. They're going to see Wolfram in the top lane.
Yeah, but he is TP and so is Lubu. Yeah. This could be huge. Zakar is only at half health right now. He's dropping very quickly though from this Solus. And they're actually going to engage here. Hard does jump in. Minos, so does Wolfram with the defense buff. And Zakar stalls not fun. Angra so low, he needs to run here. He does use his illusion to back away. But Wolfram does drop in that backline, try to do some work. Lunaria does try to save his teammate, but he drops as well. And this looks so bad. Angra and Lunaria are the only ones left alive. Aiden's going to try to do what he can by split pushing here, but Zakar's going to go in the favor of Fnatic.
Oh, look at that damage coming out from Solus. He's doing so much damage to those towers. He's probably going to be able to get this tier 2 as well. Unless Aiden can do something.
Do they want to fight? Oh, I would have liked to see a 1v1 engagement there, but they were actually both a little afraid, a little hesitant there. Not knowing where the enemy team was, Solus didn't want to force anything, knowing his team wasn't there. In that engagement, it was very strange. It was a little too separated, and Aiden took too much damage at the very beginning of the fight that he wasn't actually able to fight at all. So, really rough there for real players.
Dragon is spawning. And it looks like real players, they are going to pull it over the wall. That's what I like to see from Minos players here. I don't think they have enough damage though to blow it up. There's Zhang Fei, he's in a pit. He's got to react, he's got to do something.
Lunaria does get the dragon.
Yeah.
Ooh, Wolfram drops so low there. I think Fnatic needed to force something there. They do have the Zakar buff on them.
Yeah, they played a little bit afraid for some reason. I'm not too sure why. But good job by Minos pulling the dragon twice over the wall to secure it.
They're actually going to try to burst this tower, and Solus just killing this tower. Good usage of Una ult there. I really like it. Not allowing them to defend their tower at all. She just drops it there. It's like, hey, this is our tower. If you want to come get it, eat my bombs, basically. Another tower going in favor.
Cooldown on that is not too bad either, so she's able to make plays like that. It's really smart from them.
Yeah, they're just going tower to tower. Look at this. They're actually going to tank this last tower as well. They just want all the gold.
Damage. You can just melt those things.
It's insane. Wow, so that's 3 towers just going to their favor like that, and you can see the gold lead just swing up to almost 12k now, or 10k, sorry.
Both teams though pretty close to the 5 build right now, so pretty soon the gold difference won't really mean too much.
Yeah, when they both teams hit around 120, 130k, usually that's when you have almost your full item build.
Yeah, I really like how Minos has that Gargoyle's Heart or Locket, allowing him to just get in there and make a big pull, or allowing his team to disengage some fights. So really, I really love that item.
This damage from Soul, it's just poking at it. There's so much damage. Dropping his ult. They're actually gonna engage. Dude, they're jumping this backline. Dude, so much damage. Myth jumping so low, but he's actually kiting so well against Wiggler. Wiggler is gonna drop in that backline. Arburst did dive so far. Wolfram trying to pull it back. Some pressure, but he drops low. Solus jumps on the wall. Myth God putting in so much work there, and they actually trade 3 for 4, but they do get the tower. Mios is gonna keep chasing, and they need to get this kill. What a miss by Lunaria. You could even see, and he misses his hook as well. So it's a 3 for 4 trade there, but they actually do get the base turret as well. So I think it favors Fnatic a little more than it does anyone else.
Yeah, it definitely does. A little bit of a misplay there by both Lunaria and Minos. I feel like they could have got a 5-man team wipe and would have been able to push right down mid, but a little bit of a misplay. They do lose their tower as well. That's kind of crucial. They are going to have mega creeps in that middle lane.
Yeah, in that fight, Myth went to town on Solus. He literally kited this Lubu so hard in this back lane right around here, and he just kept kiting him. He would live at around 20% HP, and then he got so far away kiting Wigor that he actually ended up killing Wigor, and he jumped in and got the kill on Aiden as well. It was really well played there by Myth.
Yeah, Angra kind of had some bad positioning as well. He was kind of off to the side. He couldn't really hit the targets that he needed to, and he also missed a pretty crucial binding arrow, which led them to not defending that tower.
We can see this. Una's been doing a lot of work, and Angra seems to be the only one that's really outputting a lot of damage. He's 6-2 and 2 right now for his team. Really just the focal point of their team with 30k net worth in comparison to their whole team, who don't really have that much net worth, honestly.
I really like this build from Solus too. It just makes so much sense. Godly Cannon, the Jade's Heart.
They're gonna actually jump in there. And they do pop Deity. Lunaria does use ult. They actually do get the kill on Una, and they might get the kill on Souls. He's kiting so hard though. Look at this kite onto Wigor, and he's gonna try to actually go in and kill. Angra does get the kill onto Arborist. Another fleeing Fnatic run. They actually do pop Locket here, but they're not gonna actually chase too far. Good fight there for RP. They actually do defend their base. It is very low, but they need to try to get something out of this.
Yeah, they really do. They can't just keep taking these fights and not really getting anything out of the map. Otherwise, Fnatic is just going to keep doing that until they get 3 base turrets.
Yeah, exactly. And this base turret did take a lot of damage without even Solus hitting it. So you could see how well Myth is playing, though. He's actually playing so phenomenally well in this backline. He's getting engaged on by 1 or 2, which is usually Lubu and Wolfram, but he's able to just survive with the nick of, 10-15% health and able to output that damage back onto them, possibly getting kills.
Yeah, he's doing great kiting. Zakar is spawning. No vision control though for RP. They haven't been able to push out of the base too much to get that vision control. And Zhang Fei, he's doing a good job of buying oracles and clearing wards all around the map.
Yeah, so far Fnatic's playing very, very well.
And Myth is gonna start it. He's just gonna hit Zakar over the wall. You can see that damage output. He could probably even solo it himself.
Maybe. He actually does not have any... Well, he does have a little bit of lifesteal, sorry, but he doesn't have any hard lifesteal. And you can't actually lifesteal against a car, so it's very hard to solo it.
Well, he has that evasion.
That's true.
So Zakar, like, pretty much never really hits him. I'd like to see.
Good damage on the mid solo. He actually kites back, and Venus tries to go onto him, but he's not able to. Venus gonna try to run away here, and can he get away? Good spin by Guan Yu, or Guan Yu onto that backline. Hard drop in solo. Good ult from Solo's. Anger going to town right now. Can he go onto Myth? Oh, Myth actually blows up Anger. Anger does drop. Myth going to town. Look at him just life stealing off of these heroes. Doing so much work. Arborist as well up. Right now it's a 3 for 3. Or 3 for 2, sorry. Ooh, good Lunario. Is Lubu gonna go on this? I feel like he should. Good taunt coming out from Zhang Fei. They might be able to get the return kill here. They do. But they did lose their bottom base turret.
Yeah, 3 for 3 trade there. They did lose their bottom turret. I think Fnatic came on top in that fight as well.
Myth dropping so low once again at the beginning of that fight from the Shackle, and Wolfram and Lunari doing so much damage, but Wolfram could not actually finish the kill on him.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate. They used so many spells and abilities to try and blow up Myth, but him getting out there and not having a, you know, just wasting all their spells on him, they couldn't, you know, they couldn't use those spells for the rest of the fight, and Myth just came back and lifestealed him.
Yeah, he actually got the kill onto Angra, which is a pretty big kill because Angra was putting in some work there. And if you didn't see that, before Angra did get the final last hit onto Una to kill her off, she actually gets the Frozen Scepter off onto Angra, which allows Myth to finish him off. So good play there coming out from Fnatic. So they have this one last tower now. Ooh, that TP from Zhang Fei was maybe a little risky. They could have baited it. RP could have used that TP to their favor.
At this point, I don't really know how RP can win this game.
They need to win a fight with Angra alive so they can push down and get a base turret themselves. I think that's the only way. They need to win it pretty convincingly, having at least 3 of them up and possibly killing at least 4 to 5 of them. That's how they're gonna win this game. Good shackle there from, or binding arrow, sorry, from Angra.
Yeah, Fnatic though, they're just playing so smart. Their team fighting is really, really solid. Their positioning is solid as well. I don't see RP, even if they do win a fight, I feel like Fnatic, you know, they always come back and get an even trade in the fight so that RP cannot push down mid. It looks like they're doing the ward strategy so that the creeps actually hit the wards instead of the base.
The engagement is going to happen here. They're actually going to fight, and Minos goes in, but nothing actually happens. General trying to get a taunt on. Can't get his taunt. Does use his ult. This is actually a good fight for RP. Trying to put in some work, and they actually do get a 4-man wipe here. This is their time. This is what we were talking about before. How can they get back into the game? And they instantly start running down mid. Huge fight there for RP.
Yeah, and having Aiden alive here, this is huge. They can actually maybe take... Oh!
Did they get backdoor? Did they get backdoor? Wow, in game 1, going in favor of Fnatic. I didn't even realize that.
The Creeps actually won the game.
The Creeps actually pushed in and won the game for Fnatic when it was looking like RP was coming back. No one actually defended their base, and I didn't even think about that either. Wow. So game 1.
I thought RP would have definitely defended that off with the Lubu. I don't know if he just, like, he didn't see the creeps coming into his base. It was a little bit of a misplay, I think.
Yeah, I think he went to go push out the mid lane and forgot about the bottom creeps, but wow.
Yeah, right when I thought RP would have pushed down mid and had a chance of ending the game with Aiden up, I mean, the death timers were still 40 seconds.
Yeah, they were low. I think they actually could have possibly won that, but that was actually a very good game from both teams. Not really a lot separating them, just the minuscule fights and little things that happened in fights. And RP was coming back into it. That actually, I think that win at the end there could have been a game-winning push because Angro was still up and he could melt towers as well. But going into this next game, which will be coming up in the next 10 minutes, Sean, what do you think RP needs to do? I didn't feel like the Wolfram was as effective as I've seen, or maybe it was maybe even a problem with the Minos, who I didn't see too much of a factor as well.
Yeah, Minos, I don't know. He made some plays, but I don't think that it was that crucial. Like, he made some plays. He pulled Dragon over the wall. He secured a couple Dragons for RP. He made a few plays, but I don't think it was that effective. Um, and the Wolfram, I feel, wasn't that effective as well. He just wasn't able to do his own thing in split push. He was always forced to stay in his base the entire game. So I think they might need to just switch up their playstyle a little bit, maybe switch up their draft, try something else. Fnatic though on Myth, just oh my god, he was doing so well kiting the entire game.
Yeah, I think he was probably one of the leaders, or one of the best MVPs rather, in the game for Fnatic. He did so much work, played so well on that AD carry, just never really dying except for that last fight. But I just want to go back to Wolfram really quickly. I really liked him going the Igneous Blade, but I felt like right after Igneous Blade, he needed to go something other than the Jade Heart. Maybe something that helped him to go against the Myth, something that maybe like a deity or something. Because when he was going onto that backline, it seemed like it wasn't enough damage, and the Jade's Heart didn't really help him at all anyway, because it was more damage and not stuns that were killing him.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him maybe pick up a deity and maybe even a mask to get a little bit more life steal.
Yeah,
'Cause that
reflect.
way, yeah, because that way, if Myth was gonna kite or try and kite the Wolfram, he would pop the deity so that he would be doing damage to himself, and also Wolfram each hit he'd be life stealing. So I think I don't know, the build was a little weird. I do like Jade's Heart, but I feel like he didn't really have to pick it up that early, and it kind of costed him in the mid to late game.
Yeah, Wolfram is also just very strong in the early game, and I feel like he didn't do much in the early game for them to actually take their advantage, and I think that's where he excels. But we'll be back momentarily, guys. That is the first game of this best of three series, and Fnatic does take it 1-0. We'll be back in the next 10 to 15 minutes, I would hope. Let's hope so, because I cannot wait any longer for this next game. We'll be back shortly, guys. Thanks. Sorry, but they couldn't get him. Zhang goes in, but he just gets blown up. He does use his ultimate though. Uno with a huge ultimate, so is Solus. Rockman dropping so low. Lotus with a great ultimate to pull off Mulan. Mulan in this backline trying to do damage. Ares does get a kill on the backline on Lunaria. On the other side, actually 2 kills. And they're going to try to chase even more. They do get the stun off onto Apollo. Apollo dropping so low, does die as well. They're actually gonna jump in, do get the stun, they do get the tower, but Ares dropping so low. Solus is just like, peace. He might have got, I thought he might have got the turnaround on Hiyori. And they actually are fighting top as well. They're diving. Solus drops so low. Zhang dropping as well. And Zhang couldn't do anything. Is it gonna be a triple? Triple coming out from Raven. They're getting it done now. Ooh. Braum tries. He went Ignio's blade. That's something I can see, but Apollo.
Ares gonna blow up Braum right away. Mikio dropping a big ulti. Lotus drops the ult as well. Zach in a lot of trouble. Gonna start Shakar here. And it looks like Minerva's in a lot of trouble.
Takes so much damage.
Right in there. Big stun's coming out on you. Taking big taunt. Minerva's going out on Arvis. Oh, so low. Zach pops the ult though. He's not dead yet. He goes in. He has a 3-man taunt. Big damage coming out. Frozen Tempe goes down. Zach in a lot of trouble. He just dropped. Oh my god, Pandora falls as well. Oh, Minerva! Minerva!
To lifesteal through a fight. Oh! The Gene gets blown up. They're actually going to keep fighting here. Does jump in into the backline. All dropping solo. Does get frozen separate. The Poseidon does end up dropping. Zhang Fei tanking this tower with his ultimate. Not dropping at all. He's actually going to die here. Oh! How does he heal there? Big Mac! Nothing happening right now. They are gonna fight for this dragon though, and Hard does get stunned. Does jump onto Chaos though. Chaos dropping solo, trying to kite away. Chaos is on this ADC this game, and there is another fight happening in this backline. Solus just survives. Good jump in by Guan Yu, who's going in onto the Burninator, who does on a 2-man stun. Now Burninator is dropping. But this is already might be too late. They are gonna try to soak it over the wall, and they do get the steal. No! Oh yes! Pyrus does actually end up getting the kill, so it's a steal. Just going for this top tower, actually diving level 1 on this Poseidon. They're gonna get the kill onto Wiggler. Ciao, buddy. Synergy, but Rockman gonna jump in onto this tier 1. Does jump in. Guan Yu goes into the backline. Solus does drop low. They're diving so far. Aiden's just focusing the tower though, but they're dropping solo. This is actually going in favor of RP. Only 1 drops, but 3 of them drop, and they don't even get the tower in return.
And he's just continually like hitting everybody. That was absolutely insane. It looks like the card is gonna take it down, but Ezra's with the big ulti, and the Lunaria snipe. Big Poseidon will follow her up. Lotus drops the ult, but she's dead.
Are they gonna give up? They need to either TB bottom and steal their buff or fight for their own buff. It looks like Tri might actually be taking this buff for free.
Oh, Burninator actually goes in, lands a big stun, and there's first blood.
But it still is pretty great. And this Wolfram gonna jump in on the bottom lane onto Mikio. Absolutely destroys him, does go invis, and then gets the kill. There she is, now she's just throwing some spears. Wolfram just gonna go in and tank this turret. Does get, oh, he is getting blown up though. Oh, so close. Lubu's gonna jump in, lands a big stun, blows up Mikio with the flare spear. They're gonna fight. Lotus with a big ult. Lubu jumps back in the backline. Wolfram does blow up 2 of them, and they just all die. It's a full team wipe going in the way of Tri.
That's a disaster for us.
A disaster is right. For the first game, RP had a little bit of a disaster. But can they turn it around here in the next game versus Fnatic? I'm Fatal Uno. I'm joined here by Sean. You ready for this game too?
Yeah, I'm definitely ready for it. It was a little bit of a misplay by RP their last game, letting the creeps hit the main.
Yeah, we're just waiting. I think you need to join the lobby still here, Sean, and we're gonna be going. But yeah, it's let's hope for So for a good game coming here in the second one. I mean, the first one was actually a very, very good game, and the lobby is actually filled. We're just waiting for one more player to actually ready up here. Thankfully, we didn't have to wait as long as we did earlier today. It's actually quite quick. Hope you guys liked that day one recap video. I mean, shoutouts to R2 for making that. But the second draft is going to go into, and what do you think are going to be top prioritized picks here?
Probably we'll probably see the ADCs be the top priority picks again. We know these players like to first pick their ADCs. Even though I don't think you really need to pick your ADC that early. I'd like to see them pick up maybe an Ares, an Una, an Esrath first pick, but most of them are getting banned out. So
Yeah.
Esrath, Grom getting banned out, and Freya and Zhang Fei.
Well,
So a little bit of a respect ban there for Zhang Fei.
yeah, I was gonna say I can feel Fnatic's probably just gonna ban the same stuff they did last game, which looks like what they're doing. And RP seems like they needed to switch it up a little bit. And obviously Freya's gonna be banned because I wouldn't even want to know the amount of damage Myth could do with that Freya's. He's so strong on as an ADC player. They actually don't ban anything. They actually give up a free ban. And for first pick Wolfram, so maybe Fnatic are trying to show RP how to play Wolfram. They're like, hey, you guys couldn't play it last game, but hey, look, I'm gonna show you how to do it. And it's actually Myth that does pick it up, so looking forward to see how he uses it.
That might be more of a strategic ban, like not banning anybody. Maybe they're leaving open a little bit more OPs so that when the third pick comes around, they'll have a little bit more of a variety.
Yeah, I can see that. I remember people used to do that a lot as well back in the day. But why not just ban a hero that you know you're not gonna play or
Yeah,
something
maybe like a
along those
Lotus or
lines?
something. That,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
you probably won't run.
But Guan Yu and Poseidon are both picked up for the side of RP, so I
Ooh,
like those
first
picks.
Lilith. First Lilith of
Ooh.
the tournament.
Yeah, I actually really do like Lilith. I think she's a lot stronger than people probably give her kudos for. So I'm actually gonna look forward to seeing her in this game. Uh,
But
she's-
Fnatic, they do have a lot of dive right
yeah,
now.
I was
They
about
have Lilith, Wolfram. They're gonna need someone to peel for this Aiden, or else his whole team is just gonna dive, and he's gonna be left alone in the back, just getting absolutely destroyed. So I'd like to see Fnatic maybe pick someone that they can peel with. They do pick up the Minos.
maybe this Lotus, and I feel like Lotus might be a smart idea. Just have her sit beside Aiden. If he gets into any trouble, just use that ultimate, and they do go with that Lotus. I actually really like that. They kind of have a 3-man front line to just go in and have the Lotus just peel for this Aiden. And Cleopatra does get is the last pick there for RP. So looking at the two drafts, Vince, Guan Yu, Poseidon, Cleo, and Ares versus Minos, Lilith, Wolfram, Aiden, and Lotus. I think I'm favoring a little bit on the side of Fnatic. I really like the way they play, and I think they're very disciplined in the way they play. So I think they're going to be able to use this Wolfram Lilith combo to dive that backline very early in this game and try to take their advantage early and just push it.
To Heroes Evolve.
I think I'm favoring more
Deploy in
RP's
5
lineup, to be
seconds.
honest.
I don't like the thing with me when I see a Poseidon picked. Actually, hold on here. There's I can need an early engagement. Onset Karius. She's gonna try to run away. Lilith not looking too good in her first game of the tournament. She actually does die. So poor
Nice
Lilith
run
in her
there,
first game. Yeah, good stun. Oh, Minos gets a 2-man pull. They're actually pulling the creep wave. Might be taking some creeps. And RP comes out to kill it today. They're up 1 kill already. 2k up in this early game. And still in the buff. But as I was saying...
I'd like to see RP right now just TP top and take their own buff.
Yeah, I don't even think they're afraid to, though. I don't think they really need to. Fnatic just rotating in, trying to defend their own jungle. But with the Poseidon pick, I was gonna say, like, I like RP's lineup as well, but when I just feel like when you have a Poseidon, I really want to see something that can wombo combo with it, you know? Like, we've seen Lunarias with it, Esraths with the Poseidon, but I don't see too much crazy wombo with his ultimate, although I do see the understanding of it, of possibly using it kind of as a peel factor for this Vince. So I can see that being a thing, and they're actually gonna jump here on the top lane onto this Lotus. She's dropping so low, and Vince actually melts her with that attack buff. That's 2 kills going in favor of RP now.
Yeah, they do have sort of a wombo with it with Cleo and Ares a little bit. Ares does have that AoE smash that he does, but I think you're right. They'll probably use the Poseidon ult more of like a peel for Vince, and maybe
Another
even
kill in
to,
this top lane. Sorry for missing that, guys, but this Vince is just melting people, and they're actually gonna take this top turret as well. It seems. Thought an engagement was gonna happen. They're actually trying to dive, and they do get the stun onto Myth. RP is not
I would like Poseidon to maybe wait to use his ult and try and ult the Lotus when she drops her ult. Maybe stay outside of the circle.
Oh yeah, that's a really good counter to her. She's actually having a rough game. She's died twice now in that top lane to that Vince Guan Yu combo, who's a very strong combo.
That top tower too is really low. I feel like Vince can maybe take it pretty soon.
I think he definitely will. They took it so low because of that attack buff that Vince did get from the buff creep.
Yeah.
The dragon is up here, so we're gonna see if RP can do anything with the dragon.
A little bit of a misplay from Guan Yu there, but he does pop over the wall, gets a silent the Lotus. She dies again.
Yeah,
that's so
Lotus,
big.
three times she's dead now. She's still not level 4, so she still does not have her ultimate. She's just taking dragon right now while there's an engagement happening. Guan Yu jumps in! Oh my god! From Poseidon actually ends their team's hope of even contesting the dragon. What a combo there from Poseidon and Guan Yu. Just melting them. And look, Lotus might get caught out here as well. It looks like she might.
Oh, there's a played
by Cleo. Will it explode on her? Will she die? No, she heals up enough. She's gonna be fine.
Nice little heal there.
Yeah.
Guan Yu had an attack buff during that spin combo. Poseidon went off there. I think it landed a 4-man like trident. And Guan Yu with the attack buff doing so much damage with a spin. And it looks like he's gonna hop over the wall in the bot lane. Does land the stun. Vince is gonna chain it with this stun as well, and that's a kill.
And real players taking control of this game. What's going on with Fnatic? They look like they're lost. The 3 of them running around in their jungle, not knowing what to do. They need to start. They need to just figure it out right now.
The type of composition I like on RP. When I saw they had a lot to combo off, and they were going more of a team fight oriented draft. I thought for sure they were gonna play more to their style and do really well.
Yeah, definitely they played their aggressive playstyle that they did, and they were doing that off the beginning of the game, just running into their enemy team jungle.
Lane. Vince lands the stun, chained up with Guan Yu stun.
Lilith healing up from her ult. Oh, she actually does end up dying. I think Poseidon does use his ult to finalize that kill. What's this Lotus doing? She actually lands a 4-man ult. Can they get anything off of this? Ares uses ult onto Wolfram. They're gonna get another kill, and it's another kill going in favor of RP. They're gonna keep diving. Minos drops as well. They're just killing everyone here. It's gonna be a full 5-man wipe going in favor of RP.
Wow, that's a disaster for Fnatic.
20k goal lead at 4 minutes. What do you do, Sean? What do they do?
I don't know. I think it's pretty much game over from here. We're gonna lose these two towers. We're gonna lose so much map control from this.
RP came out for blood. I'm surprised they didn't pick Nosferatu because that's basically what they're doing. They're just killing them, eating them. And Fnatic trying to defend this bottom tower, but they're so far behind. 2 to 3 levels behind every single one of their players on the enemy team. So not looking too hot. Zakar is coming up in 5 seconds. Fnatic to yet even get 1 tower. I don't even think they've... Oh yeah, they've damaged top tower a little bit and mid tower just a little bit. They actually are going to start Zakar as well without the Aiden. Another attack buff. Angra is probably so happy with this. 4-0-6 right now on that Vince.
What more can he ask for? I think all game he's gotten the attack buff.
He can ask for a day 3, that's what he can ask for, but we won't know if he'll get that wish.
They play like this, definitely will.
Yeah, they're playing very well right now. This Ares, usually he's such a huge factor, but it just seems like it's been more of this Guan Yu and these four guys in the bottom lane. Guan Yu, Poseidon, Cleo, and Vince just putting in so much work.
Can we talk about this 30k gold lead at 6 minutes?
No, we can't, because it makes me depressed. I mean, it probably makes Fnatic depressed a little bit.
They rotate, they take T2 mid. They rotate, they take T2 top. Oh my god, they're just dominating. And look at the items.
They're actually gonna go high ground here with the Zakar buff. Dives into the backline. General trying to do something good. Lotus out there pushing them out. Lilith trying to do anything there. Minos gets hit into the air by the Poseidon. They're gonna actually go into the Minos now, and they drop him 2-4 down inside of Fnatic. Cleopatra actually does get that kill, the killing spree, and Guan Yu does fall to the towers attacking him. Can Aiden defend this tower? I'm not sure he can. I think this tower is just gonna be down. This might be just a GG push here from RP. I don't think they can do anything. Oh, Cleo! What a play by Zarkan there, just showing him, hey, you're gonna stand there, act cocky, you're gonna die for it. And he does. And I think this might be game win. They're gonna try and defend here, but I'm not sure defending's enough. Angra is just kiting so hard, just taking this tower, just right clicking, but he's actually gonna die to the tower. But I think they're still gonna win, and that's GG. I think it's GG. Ares actually does end it, and RP take game 2 in a very convincing fashion.
Wow, that's the RP I really like to see.
7 minutes and 47 seconds, Sean. I think that's might be one of the quickest games we've seen in all the tournaments we've casted so far.
I think it is the fastest.
19-2. Look at the net worth that on each of the players, and
yeah, they had
how
like a
far it
40k
is.
40k gold lead at like 6-7 minutes. Just absolutely nuts.
Yeah, just not looking too hot. And I think one of their issues here was they didn't have really a lot of heroes that could do anything in that top lane. Like that Vince Guan Yu could literally just do whatever they want in that top lane. That Lotus Wolfram combo they had, it just didn't do anything. They were just getting stomped on, and I think they need to figure out their picks. I don't know why Fnatic ended up going for the Minos as well. I mean, we saw the Minos not work that well for RP, and they kind of wanted to be like, hey, look, we can pick Minos and Wolfram and show you guys how to play it. Clearly, they didn't.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened that game, but RP just kind of stomped Fnatic there. Not really sure what Fnatic was doing. I didn't really like their team comp too much. The Minos and the Lilith, I don't know. Having those two as tanks, I mean, it works, but at the same time, when you're going against this team fight aggressive comp, you just have so many split push heroes, but it just seems like they couldn't accomplish too much with their split pushing, and they just kept dying and dying over and over again in the early game.
Yeah, I think a lot of their issues too is they didn't really have a lot of set stuns. They had Lotus ult, yes, Lotus confused, but they didn't really have any stuns. And against heroes like Cleopatra, Guan Yu, and Poseidon to have so many escapes, you really need to have that stun synergy to be able to combo those heroes down. I think that was a huge factor of them trying to get kills, and they were just not able to because these heroes were so easily able to escape. But we're going to be back momentarily, guys. In the next 10 to 15 minutes, the next game will happen. And that is 1-1 score for Fnatic and RP. So we'll be back shortly. Stick around. goes in, but he just gets blown up. He does use his ultimate though. Uno with a huge ultimate, so is Solus. Rockman dropping so low. Lotus with a great ultimate to pull off Mulan. Mulan in his backline trying to do damage. Ares does get a kill on the backline on Lunaria. On the other side, actually 2 kills. And they're going to try to chase even more. They do get the stun off onto Apollo. Apollo dropping so low. Does die as well. They're actually going to jump in. Do get the stun. They do get the tower, but Ares dropping so low. Solus is just like, peace. He might have got, oh, I thought he might have got the turnaround on Hiyori. And they actually are fighting top as well. They're diving. Solus drops so low. Zhang dropping as well. And Zhang couldn't do anything. Is it going to be a triple? Triple coming out from Raven. They're getting it done now. Ooh. Rom tries. He went Igneo's blade. Not something I can see, but Apollo.
Ares gonna blow up Rom right away. Mikio dropping a big ulti. Lotus drops the ult as well. Zekbe in a lot of trouble. Gonna start Shakari here. And it looks like Minerva's in a lot of
Takes so
trouble.
much damage.
Right in there. Big stun's coming out on you. Taking big taunt. Minerva's going out on Arvis. Oh, so low. Zekbe pops the ult though. He's not dead yet. He goes in. He has a 3-man taunt. Big damage coming out. Frozen Tempe goes down. Zekbe in a lot of trouble. He just dropped. Oh my god. Pandora falls as well. Oh, Minerva! Oh, Minerva!
To lifesteal through a fight. Oh! The Gene gets blown up. They're actually going to keep fighting here. Does jump in into the backline. All dropping solo. Does get frozen separate. The Poseidon does end up dropping. Zhang tanking this tower with his ultimate. Not dropping at all. He's actually going to die here. Oh! How does he heal there? Big Mac! Nothing happening right now, but they are gonna fight for this dragon though. And Hard does get stunned, does jump onto Chaos though. Chaos dropping solo, trying to kite away. Chaos is on this ADC this game, and there is another fight happening in this backline. Solus just survives. Good jump in by Guan Yu, who's going in onto the Burninator, who does on a 2-man stun. Now Burninator is dropping. But this is already, it might be too late. They are going to try to soak it over the wall, and they do get the steal. No! Oh yes! Paris does actually end up getting the kill, so it's a steal. Just going for this top tower, actually diving level 1 on this Poseidon. They're going to get the kill onto Wiggler. Ciao, buddy! Synergy, but Rockman going to jump in onto this tier 1. Does jump in, Guan Yu goes into the backline, Solus does drop low. They're diving so far, Aiden's just focusing the tower though. But they're dropping solo, this is actually going in favor of RP. Only 1 drops, but 3 of them drop, and they don't even get the tower in return.
And he's just continually like hitting everybody. That was absolutely insane. It looks like the Guardian's gonna take it down, but F-Trap's in the big ulti, and the Lunaria snipe. Big Poseidon will follow her up. Lotus drops the ult, but she's dead.
Are they gonna give up? They need to either TP bottom and steal their buff or fight for their own buff. It looks like Try might actually be taking this buff for free.
Oh, Burninator actually goes in, lands a big stun, and there's first blood.
But it still is pretty great. And this Wolfram gonna jump in on the bottom lane onto Mikio. Absolutely destroys him, does go invis, and then gets the kill. There she is, now she's just throwing some spears. Wolfram just gonna go in and tank this turret. Does get, oh, he is getting blown up though. Oh, so close. Lubu's gonna jump in, lands a big stun, blows up Mikio with the flare spear. They're gonna fight. Lotus with a big ult. Lubu jumps back in the backline. Wolfram does blow up 2 of them, and they just all die. It's a full team wipe going in the way of Try.
That's a disaster for us.
Yes, the throne going down in that video, but whose throne will actually go down in this next game? This is the series finale of Real Player versus Fnatic, and we're gonna get into game 3 here very shortly. All the players are in the lobby. We're just waiting for everyone to ready up, and it should happen.
The question is, will the throne fall to creeps once again?
That's true. Or will it fall to heroes like it did last game when RP single-handedly stomped Fnatic? And let's go back into that. Do you think that's going to happen again in this game? Or you think Fnatic may have, overestimated themselves in that second game and maybe gave the RP that win?
I don't know. It depends if Fnatic's tilted or not. I would be super tilted if I was on the Fnatic side.
I'd be full tilt.
They just didn't get anything done at all. RP, like everything they did was just perfect. Their rotations were perfect. Their team fights were perfect. Everything was just solid from RP. And if they can, take what they did last game and just pretty much draft the same draft, I think they're gonna win this next game as well.
Yeah, I feel like Fnatic though, they had the first pick and they first pick Wolfram and then their second two picks were like Aminos and something else that wasn't good. And I feel like they had so many opportunities to pick powerful picks such as um Ares or Apollo or Guan Yu that they picked in the first game, but they just seem like they went off like on a completely different track for some reason. Maybe just trying to show dominance with whatever hero they want to play. And we're actually going to get into the draft here, folks. So let's see if the draft does turn out a little bit of the same as it did in the first game, or if it's going to be different like the second game. And I'm kind of hoping like it's going to be like the first game. And RP does ban out the Una, and Fnatic does ban out the Freya. So pretty standard right now from both teams. Zhang Fei banned again from RP. They do not want Fnatic on it. He did a lot of work in that first game of this series.
Esrath going to be banned out. Pretty standard. We've seen Esrath do so much work this tournament, and there's the Poseidon ban.
Yeah,
pretty interesting. They banned Poseidon. I felt like Poseidon, like RP actually did a really good job using Poseidon. Having that first pick, I would have actually liked them see them first pick that Poseidon instead of banning it.
Yeah, me too. They do first pick the Guan Yu though, who did a lot of work in that second game as well for them. So I do like to see that. And RP or Fnatic do go back in the favor of the Wolfram, and they actually go for a Mikio as well. Very strange here, a little double assassin combo coming out from Fnatic. Maybe trying to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, they continuously pick this Wolfram, but I don't know if it's like working out that great for them.
Definitely did not in that second game. I mean, he wasn't the issue. That is 100% sure. But if your team does fall behind and you don't set up a team comp that is in favor of Wolfram, then it can lead to disaster. And they do pick up the Ares once again and an Aiden. I'm really liking RP's draft once again this game. It looks so strong already.
Yeah, Ares can pretty much just initiate with a taunt, followed up with an Aiden, Bonding Arrow, or a Guan Yu.
Myth on that Solus though, Sean. Myth on that Solus.
Ooh. I like it. But I don't know. I think I'm just preferring RP's lineup a little bit more. And they do go that Cleo once again, which did a lot of work last game. Yeah, there's a Burninator. Oh boy, he has a 0% win rate.
Can he turn it around? Can RP actually win a game with this hero that for some reason hasn't been able to find any glory? I mean, he's not a bad hero. It just seems like no team can really make him work. And I wonder if they're going to be able to make this happen. And Fnatic picked their last pick as Crystal, so they have a very strong damage lineup. Not much tanks. Maybe you're going to build Wolfram a little tanky this game. I can see that possibly happening as they don't have a second frontline tank. And I don't really think you'd want to build a Mikio. I'd rather build a Wolfram tanky than I would a Mikio. What draft are you looking at a little stronger here though, Sean?
Definitely like RP's lineup a lot more. I think they picked up the Burninator because I think it replaces the Poseidon pretty well. As Poseidon's ult, it pretty much stuns everybody in his path and in an AoE. Mm-hmm. Whereas Burninator kind of does the same thing. I think it's kind of just like a replacement for Poseidon, and they're gonna have that combo once again with the Burninator AoE stun, the Guan Yu spin, and followed up as well with the Cleo. So if RP can play the same way they did last game, I don't see them losing this game.
Look at these TPs instantly by RP again, and look how late Fnatic is. They're like taking their time. It's already too late. What's going on here? Hello, Fnatic? Hello?
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's happening here.
Well, this is the game, so let's get into it. They're gonna just steal their jungle. And I have no idea what may have happened.
I think someone is. They're saying that it's bugged out.
Yeah, I think only Crystal can move right now. Maybe they're trying to think of a remake? And RP just looks like they do not care at all anyway, and they're just like, yeah, well, remake what? Here's your tower going down.
Your team has destroyed a fort.
Hello? Hello, guys? Hello? They're just not moving. Opponents have surrendered. Match ends in 2 seconds. Alright, so...
Not too sure what's gonna happen. Maybe we will just have a remake and make them pick the same heroes that they just picked.
Yeah, I am not sure what happened there, folks. But, I mean, we'll just talk a little bit but while we figure this out. What do
Interesting
you...
though, they weren't able to move, but they were able to buy stuff.
Yeah, that's what they were saying in the game. I'm not 100% sure. But apparently they're going to be remaking right now. We're going to let you guys know as soon as information comes in. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm trying to figure out what the devs are telling me what might be going on, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on here, guys. So just give it a moment here. We're gonna try to figure it out, but if that is the case and they're not able to remake, then it's gonna be going in favor of RP to take the series 2-1. So we're gonna see what happens. Um, hmm. Not sure what's going on. I'm trying to tell the devs that to remake the game, but I don't know. I don't think they understand what the remake is.
Yeah, and it looks like the devs are saying that there's not gonna be a remake.
So RP does take that game too. So it looks like RP is going to take that game too over Fnatic, and they will be moving on to the finals tomorrow then. We're going to take a quick break though, guys. I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with the first series of the day that was supposed to happen. But for now, just stay tuned. So RP does take that game too, apparently. And we're gonna find out what's going on. Stick around. Hey everybody, and we're back, but not that hyped. We have some news for you guys, and I'm not sure everyone is gonna like this news. But we did confirm a winner during that whole period of time. And from what I'm gathering here, Dreamworld was gonna make it into the finals over Try Gaming. Right, Sean?
Yeah, that's right. And also, the game there between Real Player and Fnatic, where um, I guess Fnatic had some problems. Real Player is actually going to take that game, which will advance them into the finals for tomorrow.
Yeah, so tomorrow will be a finals of Real Player and Dream World against each other. And we do apologize again for all the waits and stuff. Wholeheartedly apologize. I wish that we could have done something better on our side to make things move a little faster or possibly just help the tournament organize a little quicker. But there was a lot of issues with players as well, and like their internets, and them not being able to log into their accounts. So once again, just let everyone know between the Dream World and Try Gaming, I've just got word. I don't know why, so I can't really let you guys know that much. But from my understanding, Dreamworld does advance because Try Gaming was just not showing up, and because they didn't show up, Dreamworld does move on into the finals. So just letting everyone know, tomorrow the finals will be between Dreamworld and Real Players. Other than that,
Yeah,
guys, we might post a little more codes in the chat just to end off the night. We do wholeheartedly apologize once again on behalf of our two staff and ourselves, me and Shondakon. But I hope everyone has a good night and sleep tight, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow.